All right, y'all. Let's get into it. It's early. I'm your host Jovi. This is my co-host Brandon. We got distracted
Yeah.
talking
Sorry,
about.
guys.
So no, tell me about this etiquette though. Anything?
All
All right,
right. So we were talking like
talking about America.
America, and like I'm patriotic-ish. Like when we're nice, like when it's a good reason to be patriotic, like we're gonna help our allies and be like decent human beings and a decent country on the geopolitical scale. I'm like, yeah, America. But if someone's like, we should just like take over that country because we can, I'm like, ah, that seems mean. Like that doesn't seem like the right thing to do. So like we should probably just be nice. So
Mhm.
um
So you're not a
I recently
nationalist.
no.
Ah, shit.
No, I'm a big fan of humans.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of humans.
true story.
Any particular nation, I'm like, that just doesn't. I don't know. Like, just a big fan of being nice to people and people being nice to other people. So,
That's
but anyway, I learned that in the Olympic ceremonies, every every country like dips their flag when they walk by the host country, usually like their president or king or queen or whoever it is. And the only country in the world that doesn't do that as a sign of respect is the US, because it's like we dip our flag to no one. And it was kind of this like
of course we would.
well, it's
I'm so disgusted with it sometimes.
it's an interesting thing because like what it feels like we're still the like the the country that feels like we're the little kid in the room of like older siblings. We're like, no, we get to speak up too. And there's just a moment where I'm like, you got a voice now,
That's
man. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Like
That's
you just
true. Oh, they throw a
you just
tantrum.
yeah.
I want to talk.
Yeah. I mean, we
We
are
are a
a pretty
young country, though.
Yeah.
Look at that. Smart.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, I'm just gonna be upfront with the people. We're recording early because Brandon's busy on Friday. Um, so I don't have as much from my past week, which has been all of not even 4 days. Just like I saw you on Friday.
Man, that felt so long.
Did it
Cause
really?
okay, my week. So my two daughters are in a dance, uh, like dance class, and so they had their Nutcracker ballet this weekend. Um, and oh my goodness, like our youngest is 5, and they got to be on stage at the same time and like sort of dance and sort of play and act a little bit together, and it was super cute because they were just like older sister, younger sister, like playing their parts, and my oldest was like watching out for her sister, like making sure she was getting to the right spots and doing what she needed to do. And I was like, all right, well done. But it was 3 performances, like Friday. So we had dress rehearsal Thursday, and then there's Friday,
Oh,
Saturday,
yo.
Sunday, and so like
Okay.
it was all sorts of running
I was
around and
thinking it was just like one dance recital, like one big old performance. But
no,
that's more like how theater runs.
uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And they do the dance company does a pretty good job. It's at like a local theater downtown, and so it's pretty cool. And I mean, I've seen the Nutcracker so many times, so there's a moment where I was like, come on, we could do it.
I don't I don't know if I've actually seen it. Well, that's not true. I saw it way back in like elementary music class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been long time ago, like fourth, fifth grade type stuff.
Yeah. I think it's
What
a
is it
tradition.
about even? I don't even remember it.
The gist of it is there's a dinner party and this girl essentially has a dream about a rat and the Nutcracker, and they're battling, and then there's different like sort of places they go through, like a sugar plum forest fairy place, and there's different music that coincides with some other different scenes that go along with it, and then Rat King dies, and she wakes up and everything's good.
It's all a dream.
Yep.
I'll be honest, none of that sounds familiar, like in the slightest. I'm baffled. Okay, Tchaikovsky, fair enough. Huh.
Yep.
Rogue battles, memorable characters, like the Sugar Plum Fairy. There's a Sugar Plum Fairy? What's a sugar plum?
I think it's a dessert that used to be popular, like where it was like a sort of baked plum with sugar on the outside. I'm not entirely sure. Like old
Type? What?
old desserts like that. Like, have you ever, like, for example, have you ever had Turkish delight?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
It's okay.
All right.
My old boss was Middle Eastern, so
Okay.
I tried it at her place.
I
Not my
don't know.
favorite, but it was okay.
So I remember hearing about Turkish delight. So I don't know if you ever read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe at all. It's like a children's story,
Fourth
but
grade.
yeah. So do you remember? So there was Edmund. He sells his family out for some Turkish delight to like the sort of.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I
remember that.
I remember being an adult and seeing it. I was in Pike Place Market in Seattle, and I saw it, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like this has got to be good because this man sold his family out for some of this, and I bit into it, and I was like, "No, you didn't for this, for this, my man, you betrayed your own flesh and blood for this." Nah,
Absolutely, I
Like,
wouldn't do
sweet
that.
tart rope? I like sweet tart rope. I'd get you.
Hey, wait, sweet tart rope.
Oh, your audio is gone. By the way,
My audio is
it's like gone.
my. How was my audio gone?
Oh, now it's back.
I didn't
Oh wait,
change much.
now it said my internet's unstable. That might have been
Oh.
on me.
Yeah, because I'm like, I ain't do nothing.
Huh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's all good now.
Give me now. Kids
Yeah,
don't
man.
do this anymore.
I'm pretty sure they're confused.
They
by
do
it.
this.
No.
I've seen videos of like parents asking their kids, like, how do you imitate being on the phone? And they'll be like this.
Wow.
Because they don't know what this is.
Mm-mm. I can't handle that.
I
That
don't
just
like
looks
it.
stupid. That looks
Right?
stupid.
You just got.
Mm-mm.
It's so weird. Kids.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Kids
with
are hard to understand, dude. They. It's the changing of the times that go along with it, where it's like, but no, a phone. You bring a phone near your ear and then you hang it up. But we don't hang up phones anymore. Like, we don't go click. It's actually, we have it to our face, and then we go like this, and that's what they do. And I'm like, oh no. It's time for us to do the young oldsters, dude. We come on the show with our hats, some jazz in the background. We just chat like how we would.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh,
there was, so Sunday, I had to pick up some lunch for my daughter. My daughters were in the dance, and I went to a Jimmy John's downtown St. Cloud, and I walked in, and they have cranked up, and the whole like there's three staff members, and they're just either whistling or singing along, and it's old Louis Armstrong, and I was like, yeah,
that's what's up.
this is my spot. I'm gonna hang out here all day, like
Just hang
so.
out at Jimmy John's.
I anywhere that's just like vibing with old Louis Armstrong,
Yeah.
some Nat King Cole, like
Oh yeah,
man,
that's a good time.
I was like,
that's a good time. But a
Yeah,
sub shop.
yeah, I know. I never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. Like
I almost
Jimmy
thought
John.
you were gonna say they were like screaming Christmas carols and stuff like that. You know, because three young guys might end up doing that, being on some foolishness. I was not expecting it to be such sophisticated young men.
Yeah, walked in and it was a whole mood, and it was kind of like
Solid.
I'm just gonna come in here. It made me it made me want to have like a newspaper and just like sit down and just be like, like the crack of it, just like like,
You gotta get that seam out of it.
yep. And for sure, I'm carrying it right under my
Right here.
yeah, yep,
All right, y'all, I'm gonna head on.
yeah. That's exactly what it would be.
Oh, that's hilarious. I miss being a regular at a spot where, okay, I used to go to Leafline Labs in St. Cloud. It's not Rise, but I was there a lot, and when I mean everyone knew my name in that place. Didn't matter the rotation of schedule. And if you didn't know my name, you were introduced to me. And I was like, I felt like Norm from Cheers. Okay, walk in. Hey, it's Jovi. I'm like, what's going on, guys? How's it going?
Yep. Oh. Everyone's got to have that place, man. I love that.
Being a regular, I don't know. There's something about it. Just you truly feel wanted at the place. Like you're not a nuisance or anything. They're like chatting you up or whatever random nonsense. It was so awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into this week's topic. I got you with some hard-hitting questions. How did you or do you talk to kids, either your own or ones that you work with, about their social interactions, relationships, and what was the other thing? Social dynamics. Like how did you come to teach about that? Jill and I were talking about it earlier this week. Just like that's one of the things that we've noticed that kids have a harder time with. Is the different social dynamics and whatnot, and how do you coach through or deal with that?
So for a lot of kids I work with, I mean, even for our own kids, a lot of times it's kind of this sort of cultural education. Like, what are the dynamics that you're running into in this area? So one of the things, like in central Minnesota, is they're really known for a lot of like passive aggressive communication. Relationships are somewhat conditional if you agree, like, because it's almost like I want to say like almost like a tribal mentality. Like we can be friends if we agree.
Yeah.
or like you belong if certain things align. And so like I've been here. I've been here since 2008, and like what? It's been too long. It's been too long.
Couldn't be me.
Yep. But it's like I've been here for a while, and people still are like, yeah, you're not from around here. You're not one of us. And I'll
2008
be
is a
like,
long time, bro.
I know.
Coming
And
up on 20 years.
well, and for like one of my mottos, and one of the things that I kind of live by is this like wherever I am, I want to be all there. This idea of like, if it's my community, I want to be all in on like, making it a better place, or like investing in it,
Mhm.
whatever that looks like. So um so it's a little bit weird to like work so hard or try so hard to be like like one of the community, and have people still be like, but you weren't born here. Like, for real, like I come on now. And
Right.
still
You
kind of, like,
integrated completely. I
yeah,
assumed you were from there when we first met. I just was like, oh yeah, you kind of like them, but then also you're not like them. You're not.
yeah,
I can see where they are like, yeah, no, not you. But then
yeah,
if they heard some of the comments that you make off air, they'd be like, see, that's why you're not with
yeah,
us.
yeah.
But I get it though, because I've seen a lot of that passive aggressive activity in my time out there,
Hmm.
and that never meshed with me. I'm like, I'd rather confront this issue right now. Like, if you go talk some shit, we could talk some shit, or we could, don't throw
Hmm.
just like slide comments here and there. Like, let's talk about it, or don't just like harbor it and
Hmm.
never express yourself and act like we're all cool when we're really
Yeah,
not. It's too much.
yeah. And it's I think it's so that's like one of the cultural things we'll have to talk about with the kids is like, you can't really go off what people say around here. You kind of have to kind of you got to build some relationships where you can actually have some transparent conversations, to know if it's really solid and stable. But then the other part being like Minnesota, like once you're in though, like it's a fiercely loyal bunch. Like, so once you break through that, I mean, they're
I
like
do believe that too.
solid till the day you die. They're like, nah, man, you're in the fam. So like, it's a weird dynamic because like, trying to teach kids that, like in our, like especially culturally, like in our family, like the presence of emotions and the presence of working through those,
Mhm.
um like it's okay. And even if like good and bad emotions, like
Right.
apologies are made, we work through things. um we'll talk about things openly with the kids.
Fist fight in the backyard.
No, we don't do that. No,
See, I thought we had something right now, but
dude, this fist fight, like
Fight Club,
I just
Jensen Family Fight Club.
no,
Come on.
no, no, because
I-
it'd be a
It'd be like
like
you
I'd
and
be
one of your
worried that
sons
it
like this back to back.
just
Get a baseball cap.
all right, kids. No,
Throw
it's
down.
so part of it is teaching like culturally what you're running into around you.
Hmm.
The other part is like this honest, sort of walking through seeing yourself in relationship with other people. Like, so if someone's like, well, I don't want to be your friend because you're mean. There's this moment where it's like, all right, like are you mean? Like, let's start with this question. Like, is that true? Is that an accurate statement?
Oh,
And it
well, you know,
might be.
people don't jump to that question though. They're like instantly on the defensive. No, I'm not. Fuck you.
I in our discussions with our kids, like there's a moment
Hmm.
to be like, you need to sit with this question of what is true and what is not. And
Hmm.
before going defensive, you should probably see if it's true or not first, because there are some times where
Valid.
like I'll tell the kids like there's sometimes it happened the other day. Um oh, it was last week. Um I we were running behind and I have this when we're running late, because I can't stand being late. It is one of my biggest pet peeves on the planet. It's
Wait,
irrational.
say that again?
I can't stand being late.
Oh, that's fine. I got you.
Yeah.
It's not irrational. It's completely rational. And I don't care what
I
anyone
mean,
says.
but I'm just saying, like when other people are late, I start seething, and
Yeah.
I take it personally.
It's
Like, and it's
completely rational, Brandon.
no, it's not.
It's completely rational. I
No,
promise
because
you.
that person did not choose to do that to me. Something
Yes, they
happened in
did.
their world. No,
Yes, no,
no.
they did. It was a personal attack,
Oh gosh.
and that's the only way I'll ever view it.
But it's like so. My
Doctors.
so I I went to this like to get my kiddos it picked up because we had to like get ready for a Christmas party that
Mhm.
we were helping to orchestrate. And my goodness, we were running behind, and my wife was like, "Hey, you need to run to the Dollar Tree to get this decoration for the kids." And I was like, "The Dollar Tree is where my soul goes to die. I don't like that store ever, and much less when we're running late." And she's like, "Well, it needs to happen." And I was like, "Fine." And I was just snippy and in a mood and like snarling at the kids, like, "Get in the car, like, come on, come on." And my youngest son, who's 7, he's in the back of the car and he goes, "You're being a jerk." And I was like, first off,
Oh.
first off, you are not wrong. You are spot on, my guy. I am sorry for being rude and mean and letting my stress come out sideways and like snarl at you guys. Because this isn't a life or death situation. We're gonna be late. That's all this is. And your dad, like, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
So it was one of those moments where I'm like, you have to, like, in those moments, like if someone says something to you, you got to start with the question, is it true or not? And then as a parent, you kind of you have to put your money where your mouth is and kind of walk it out and be like, "You're not wrong. You are not wrong, son.
Y'all
I
heard
don't
the
know
man.
that I."
Brandon, tell the people again, because they don't hear you for real. They need
That
they
you gotta
need to
put your
hear
money
this.
where your mouth is.
Mm-hmm. Double down,
Like,
because parents
you
suck
got-
at this part. Don't know how to apologize for shit. Y'all need to be better.
it's.
I'm just a sidekick behind you, like fucking.
I mean,
get right.
well, it's so for me. Sometimes I think I'm a part of a big cosmic practical joke to make me a better human, even though, like, I don't want to be sometimes. Like, when the good Lord's like, "Hey, you should have kids," and I'm like, "Yeah, kids are amazing." And he's like, "Yeah, aren't they?" And then I have them, and he's like, "Hey, by the way, you're gonna need to be better for them." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a jerk move." And then when I'm like, "Hey, what should I do for a career?" And the good Lord's like, "Hey, you should be a therapist." And I'm like, "Hey, yeah, that's a good idea. I can help people." And then I'm like, "Wait, that means I have to follow all of my advice or else I'm an openly hypocritical therapist. This is some BS, man. This is this is rude to put me in positions where like in order to
This
not
is
be a
rude
hypocrite,
to the Heavenly Father. This is rude.
it's right. I mean, when you think about it, like to be a therapist, like so again, like I've been a professor of marriage and family therapy, and to be in a position where you're like you want to be a therapist, that the sort of backside of it is this quest of continually learning and fine-tuning your craft on yourself. Like that's like if you want to be a good therapist, you gotta like fine-tune that in the mirror. And if you want to be a good parent, you gotta fine-tune that character development in the mirror. And it's
So
and I
therapists
and
out
I
there, fucking get right.
I'm just saying it's
I agree. I agree.
well it's just like one of those things where I'm like, for real, this is how life works. Like you
Hmm.
like in order to like actually teach them, I have to get better as a parent. Like this is
Be a proper example.
yeah.
That's ultimately what it comes down to being because, like you said, you're just a big hypocrite otherwise. You gotta practice what you preach. That's why I get pissed off at pastors
Right.
because y'all need to get right. I'm gonna keep telling y'all, everybody out there needs to get right because this is a bullshit, myself
Mm,
included. But we have to be able to recognize that, like you're saying, is it true? Like the question of, do I need to do better? Do I need to get right, so to speak? Yeah. Don't be dumb. Yes.
bottom line. Like that's
Absolutely. But I mean, for the whole point of it all, it being a better example is just better for your children to learn from. So they see how you interact and whatnot. And, if you follow through on, I'm being a jerk right now, but I'm allowed to, well, then why do I have to listen? Because we're
mhm,
just saying things now.
right. Right.
Can't be.
It's
Need more
I,
yous in the world.
dude, it's I think anytime someone's like, I want to be a better person. I want to work on my like self and like self growth.
Mhm.
There's always part of me that's like, are you sure? Because like I'm on this road and I love the fruit of what I'm seeing in my kids and seeing, for their lives.
Mhm.
Any fruit in my marriage and with friends. Like I love it, but it's hard. Like I'm tired some days. Like this is
Yeah.
like it's okay to like it's a good aspiration. Um, but
It's work.
it is, yeah. So I think teaching kids about all of it,
Mhm.
there's the conversation piece, but then there's the big part, the huge part is modeling and what
Right.
that looks like. And I mean, in the therapy office, like we'll do modeling and sort of like have plays where we'll have people like, hey, let's practice this. Um, but really, I mean, there's no shortcut and there's no magic pill. Like you always have to do the sort of actions, when the rubber meets the road and be like, you got to walk it out. Like if you have tension with a friend, you got to call it out. If you got conflict, if you're feeling insecure, if you're feeling, if you've been rude or, you got to own it.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, like there's no shortcut. There's no therapy that's gonna get you over that final hump. Like we can prepare you for that stage. Like let's talk about it. Let's talk about cultural dynamics. Let's talk about self esteem. Let's talk about seeing yourself in relationship with other people. let's talk about even your own role in some of the dysfunction. Um, but I can never walk
Circular
you right.
causality.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. I be learning,
Yeah.
bro. I don't take physical notes, but they're up here. Mhm.
There you go. Yeah, so I think that's the main
Yeah, that
part about
makes
it.
sense.
And then I think the other part that we've really stressed with our kids
Hmm.
is there's a moment where you have to do right and and have integrity and do right by what you know is right and the person you want to be, no matter who's following you on that road or not. Like, if you have
Yeah,
friends to join you on that journey, that's amazing. But you always have to have integrity and be who you want to be, no matter
absolutely.
no matter what you're running into. So,
And that's difficult, especially when the narrative might go against what you believe in,
hmm
or it's not exactly how you see it,
hmm
especially in America.
oh
I
yeah.
swear to God. Anywho, I love my fellow brethren. They just suck sometimes.
It's I think that's the other part that's hard about it though, is like, so for me, like there's annoyances with other people, but I think the other part, whenever I get close and I'm like, you guys should be doing better, you're like, this is ridiculous. There's another part of me that's like, I'm only a couple choices away from being that person. This is annoying that like I can I can still see me in that person and what they're doing, and I'm like, man, I don't even get to have my soapbox right now because I know how you got there and why you're that way. This it's just,
I hate when I can't get on my soapbox.
dude,
I like
we
being
don't
up
get
there.
it. It's like, I'm just telling you,
I
like the
no longer have a
soapbox.
soapbox.
No, it's
That's
gone.
for somebody else. And I'm like, you know what? That's that was a tough pill to swallow. Cause sometimes I be wanting to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, that
Mm-mm.
revenge is mine. So I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, but like that, I think that's the hard thing, is when you're like, no, it should be better, or like get on that soapbox, and there's this moment where like, no, you're not supposed to have that soapbox. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't make you care for
Feel good.
anyone. Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's what's tough too. Yeah, there's so many. We're dancing around the topic, but like
Mhm.
there's clearly an underlying tone that I want to get into, but I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to get into it right now. It's too early in the morning.
It's being a healthy human and modeling those things for your kids, teaching them about it. There's the conversation, there's the modeling. But I think the modeling and the coaching towards humility in social dynamics, that's probably the safest and probably most stable footing, is having the humility and pairing that with modeling healthy communication,
Yeah,
social.
understanding it.
I think the other point that's really like, if you can find friends for your kids or other families to kind of like walk it out together, more like, hey, my kid's having beef with your kid's having beef with mine, let's walk this out.
Hmm.
Let's help coach them through how they're going to navigate it, because
Right.
like when someone
Oh, that's
comes
good.
to
That's solid.
like when someone comes to me and is like, your kid did this to my kid, um I don't really like, I don't get really defensive, mostly mostly because like I think all humans can make bad choices, and I think we can also make good choices. So I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. They probably made a bad choice. Um, but I think it's hard to find people that are willing to walk that out.
I would
And
agree with
that's
that.
and that's I think that's what we've run into is there's people that are like, hey, we should walk this out. And they're just I don't know that they're in that same space where they can do that. Um,
How many people do you think are actually in that space with you, bro? Like,
ah,
it's not many, not
no,
as
it's
many
not.
as there should be, and that's disappointing. But there aren't many of these lessons out there where it does combat the parents, own
Mm-hmm.
thought process of I can do whatever I want. I'm the adult in this, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to should you do whatever you want?
Mm-hmm.
Should you learn better tactics and things to resolve your issues? Parents suck. Adults suck. That's why we're supposed to stay kid-like in our nature, because kids are willing to understand things or like want to learn and truly take on new matters. Like adults suck. Man, I'm
Yeah.
just bashing on people today. You out here being
Yeah.
helpful. I'm out here in the background just man.
Just
Don't make me come back there. I swear. But it's all you need both sides, because the recognition that I, I start with what you said of, well, am I a jerk, or am I being a shitty person, or do I just suck as a human being right now? First things first. And if I end up saying yes, then I really need to take an extra step back and be like, how did I end up
hmm
displaying like this? And
yeah.
I just know a lot of people won't take those extra steps or that little bit of extra time to recognize that, yeah, maybe I suck right now, and try and move forward from there and understand I want to be better.
Yeah.
But it we live in a very jaded world, and
hmm
tough to see those other matters as important as they are, because we
hmm
deem ourselves the most important. Everyone's got
hmm
main character syndrome for the most
Oh
part,
yeah.
and it's
Oh
like
yeah.
we are not. We can't all be main character. That's just not how that works.
Mm-mm.
All
No.
right, man. You got anything else? Let me see. Do I have any good
No.
news or good advice? Admit you suck. Let's just go with that. Admit that you can be a terrible person sometimes, and it's okay as long as you try and do better. That's really all we ask for, is just for all people to recognize that they can be better people, and we
Mm.
want that for you, and we want you to want it for you, but we're not going to force y'all. So peace and love.